deaf idiots can't even hear the moronic voices that they shout at with about how we must do it now. First mover advantage. It must happen now. If you don't get adoption today, right here in this particular way, or burn tokens in this particular way. By the way, the tokens are all distributed. Who the fuck would we burn? You'd have to steal money from people.
What's going on, beautiful people? I am Lando. Success, your favorite motivational teacher. The goal is whenever you come to my channel to leave knowing something that you didn't know. So today we are doing a reaction video of Charles Hoskinson. He is the founder of Cardano, which is known as ADA, one of the biggest proof of stakes blockchain platforms. Now, in my personal opinion, if he is not the best, he's one of the best and smartest innovators of our time, especially when it comes down to cryptocurrency. Usually in this industry, when you have a CEO like this that are geniuses, they can't articulate their thought process and their words to the masses. He is one of the rare few that have done TED Talks, that have talked all over the world, and he completely gets it. You will love him. He actually did a live on his channel on Christmas Eve and basically just given a speech about the past, the present, and the future of Cardano. And I want to do a reaction video to it because it's deep, so we're going to get right into it. But with reaction videos, it do take time to do the research, so all I ask in return is press that like button and press the subscribe button, and let's get into it.
But in 2014, I did a TED Talk, and I was a man with a mission.
Hi, I'm Charles Hoskinson, and I'd like today to talk a little bit about the future, namely the future given to us by something that can decentralize it. So I'm a mathematician, and as a mathematician, we like to do things like Venn diagram everything. We like to build our models. So let's break the world up into two buckets. Let's look at the banked and documented world, and let's look at the unbanked and undocumented world. So the green bucket has about 4 billion people living in it, in places like the United States, the European Union. And then we look at places like China, we look at places like India and Brazil, and we start moving into the unbanked and undocumented world, places like Sudan, places like Afghanistan. Well, what's the point? Well, the point is, if you were to look at every meaningful metric, from infant mortality to literacy rates, quality of life, it tends to get better with the more financial services and the more access to documentation that you tend to have. So let's elucidate this.
It's kind of funny. People write books and people write blog posts, and they say all kinds of just batshit crazy stuff about me, my intentions, my history in the space, Cardano, the project, and so forth. It's not really a reflection of me at this point. It's more of a reflection of them, how they think and their incentives. I've always been with you guys straight and honest. And I told you back in 2014 what I was going to do. Going to go out there and we're going to figure out how to build a financial operating system for the world. We told you how we're going to do it. You're going to do it with peer review and formal methods. And we told you what it would take. It's going to be a long, arduous, systematic march, day by day by day. It's not sexy. It's not defined by surprise announcements. It's not defined by sudden partnerships and burns and all these other gimmicks that the space has. It's defined by just good old-fashioned hard work. That's what we said in 2014, which was, by the way, batshit crazy. It's just me and a few adherents that were crazy enough to believe it was possible.
So when you go to get a job, what do they usually ask for? They ask for a resume. The reason they ask for a resume because they want to know your work history. What type of history have you done to be qualified here? And when we talk about Charles, he had to let you know his history is documented. You see, I went back to a TED Talk back in 2014. Everything he said is back there. This when Bitcoin wasn't popular. Cardano wasn't the number 6 market cap crypto in the world. He had a vision, he had a plan, and he completely executed at times a million. Cardano went way past his projections. He never expected to grow this big this fast. He had the vision. So if innovators, you want to see their proof of stake. Show me your proof of your history of the work you already have done. And he did that right there. I'm with him.
Got it done. They built a reality where what we said we were going to do in 2014 can now be done. And that legitimizes not just Cardano and the concept of DeFi, but to be frank, our industry as a whole. We have a pretty big check we wrote as an industry. If you look at the valuation, $2 trillion, you look at the statements, the books, the articles, the blog posts, the videos, the courses, they all say the same thing. Change the world, change everything, reimagine everything. Decentralization. And that's what we were promised. And what did we get? Pictures of rocks that sell for $1 million. Buzzword, buzzword, buzzword. Networks that purport to be centralized, but when they stop working, somebody kicks them to restart them. But hey, great returns, right? So yeah, just keep doing that. And billions of dollars of losses because of incompetence and malice, willful theft and criminal conduct, and a mentality that it's better to be first than best. That is a pretty big check that we've written as an industry, and we haven't cashed it.
We better be first than best. That is deep, because when we look at the time we live in now, we want to get information out first. And you notice a lot of these media posts, a lot of these media outlets don't always have their information correct because they want to put it out so quick before they do the research. And with cryptocurrency, we had a vision, we had a plan for everything, but with money, with greed, like you said, we had no idea that NFTs can come possible. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but crypto as a group veered off to the right, veered off to the left. Everything wasn't used in a positive way for Bitcoin as we expected to completely change the world. So I understand when he say we wrote a check that we can't necessarily cash yet. We still can cash it because, hey, the check didn't bounce. The check didn't bounce.
If COVID taught us anything, it taught us that the human race is amazingly capable of lying to each other, of building structure upon structure of deception. And it doesn't matter where your politics fall or what you think about it. You can be on one side or the other side or all sides. Every single one of you has gotten some trauma from this event. And you've seen how bad things could get. So we have this tool. It's not a good tool. It's not a bad tool. Blockchain, cryptocurrency. And we just have to decide, how are we going to use it? Where are we going to use it? And I caution every single person going into 2022, our success as an industry will be tested. It has to be, because if we succeed, we will change the power structures of humanity itself. There's going to be lots of scrutiny, misinformation, lies, and other things told by the legacy system. We already see it. We see people in the Congress, we see people in transnational bodies say that the only use and utility of cryptocurrencies is money laundering, child pornography, evading sanctions, all kinds of negative conduct and consequences. But yet they never mention all the good things. The fact that we can transform and change people's lives, give them.
I want to know in the comments, what did COVID teach you? Did it give you a wake-up call? Because we seen it gave Americans a wake-up call around the world. When COVID happened, when it started, that's when I took my YouTube channel seriously. The hell with this job. Let me start monetizing my voice, my ideas, my creativity. And I like how he undersold cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And Cardano, he said it's just a tool. It's not the best. It's not the worst. But it's a tool to take average people to become above average people, abnormal people, exceptional people. In 2022, cryptocurrency as a group will possibly take the biggest hit it has taken in a lot of years, such as the attacks. Like, think about it. When you first heard about Bitcoin, the main thing we heard of Bitcoin was used for was for illegal activities. What was that one movie? Was it, I can't think of that movie, but let me know in the comments where they was doing illegal activities and getting paid in Bitcoin. That was like the first time in the movie world we actually heard about it. So now you got to look at the media. In real life, there's probably 5, 6, 7 at the most people that control everything we see. Everything on TV, all the movies, the websites, the articles, the blogs. They are controlled by a handful of people And if they keep on saying the same thing over and over again, even though it's not true, people will start believing it after a while. So we got to stand strong because cryptocurrency is about to get attacked. Because you got to think, what happened if we make it to the other side when the American dollar is less valuable than Bitcoin? Everything changes. Everything, the whole foundation that we stand on, which is, a little janky, start to get questioned, and they know it. So America gonna fight back. That's just what it is.
Scenarios down. There's a very good reason why Satoshi left. And for that reason alone, it's why Bitcoin is so strong. You see, it's so easy in society to put somebody at the top and say that person's the leader. And then you can centralize all of your criticism and attacks and personify the effort according to the person at the top. Don't like Catholicism? Well, attack the Pope. That's a good starting point. Pretty good assault. And equivalently, for corporations, protocols, ideologies, you always try to attack the person at the top. If there's no one at the top, then you have a much harder task in front of you, which is you have to attack the philosophy, the merits. You have to argue against what we stand for. And how can you argue against liberty and freedom? How can you argue against the desire for equality?
This is probably the first time in history it made me question and realize, why did Satoshi leave? Why did he create one of the most influential systems, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, in the world, and completely disappeared? Don't exist no more. Y'all don't even know who it is. And with that explanation, it makes tons of sense. Think of the people, they would have killed them by now. They would have threw stones at him. Why did you do this? Why did you do this? They would have tried to break him down. They would have threatened his family. Y'all know I'm very pro-black, so I like to go to black revolutionaries. Look at Martin Luther King. Look at Malcolm X. Look at Louis Farrakhan. You speak out against the norm. You're one person, they can take you out and they can silence everybody else. And another analogy I said before, who are the leader? Who's the originators of the Blood and Crips? Nobody knows. It's a group. You don't know who's the leader of the Blood or Crips. It's just one whole organization. And you can use that when it comes down to different fraternities or different things. It's hard to stop a group or a philosophy, like he said, versus one person. So you never want to be at the top. My thing is, it's a bunch of us in this finance community. I don't want to just be, hey, it's just Orlando. No, it's a bunch of us. Spread us out. Don't just attack me. Attack the philosophy. But if I'm making you money, how can you attack the philosophy if it makes sense? 2 + 2 = 4, not 8. Just saying.
The cryptocurrency space has already been tested. The leadership of each and every project has been attacked. Look at Twitter and what they do. Look at the media and what they do. And that's why it's so pivotal that we continue the relentless march towards building a proper open source project. It's our biggest challenge next year. You want fast delivery. You want high quality code. At the same time, you want resilience. There are almost 15 companies working on Cardano right now across the world. Sun never sets on the project. We need to make that hundreds and then eventually thousands. We need institutions like universities and nation states to actively cooperate and collaborate and have a stake in the success of this project if we truly intend on transforming the world. But you cannot have a mentality that Charles Hoskinson is going to sit up on an ivory tower and figure it out. I do what I can. I'll endow institutions just like I did the Hoskinson Center. In that case, it was for the field of mathematics. But more will come specifically for Cardano, from standards to science. We'll collaborate and work with best-in-class open source organizations. We'll open up a checkbook and cut checks for tens of millions of dollars if necessary. And we'll continue funding our developers to do our part. But if you really want the world I preach, you preach, you have to give it a bit of a push. Get your own communities involved. Could be the county council. Could be a small city. Could be your company. If you're a software company, assign an engineer to the open source project. If he doesn't know how to do it, we can find a way to train him or her. Get it done. If you have the means, build a project on Cardano. Showcase the power of decentralization. If you're an educator, teach about it. That's how I got started in the cryptocurrency space. Created a little class called Bitcoin or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Crypto, because I like Peter Sellers, Dr. Strangelove.
He's basically saying we need help. The problem I have, let's just keep it 100. Us as a society hate the one person that's in the lead. We hate the genius, the person that have the idea, that just have the it factor. And besides us getting behind them or that project Cardano, we want to create our own. Oh, I can create a new Cardano. I can create this. I can create that. That's all doing the exact same thing when we could have just focused and rallied around one project and get the problem solved 10 times easier. I love Kevin Hart. If you look at his grind, you look at his process, he would not be where he's at without his team around him. He have writers, he have other comedians, he have managers, he have a army and a team behind him that help everything work. When he had his latest scandal, who was it from? It was from one of his friends that was jealous and mad at his success. Probably mad because he didn't get he wasn't number one. My thing is, if you got a group of 10 people and one person is the smartest, one got the juice, they got the charisma, put them in the front. That's what we do with our presidents. We put our presidents in the front because in general, we like their personalities. And we put all the main people that matter behind them. And the president just a puppet master, if you think about it.
The load too. That's real decentralization. And how do you bet against that? I oftentimes see all these people blabbering away into the wind. Deaf idiots. Can't even hear the moronic voices that they shout at with about how we must do it now. First mover advantage. It must happen now. If you don't get adoption today, right here in this particular way, or burn tokens in this particular way. By the way, the tokens are all distributed. Who the fuck would we burn? You'd have to steal money from people. I hear him babbling into the wind day in and day out, not understanding that if this is to be successful, you must follow the path we're following. Inclusivity, debate, decentralization, solid foundations where the rug doesn't get pulled from you again and again. Caring a lot about quality, caring a lot about making sure everyone moves together. And when people come, seeing if they leave or stay. That is how you build something special. And that's how you're around in 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or 20 years or 25 years. And that's what I signed up for. That's what we told everybody the Cardano project was all about. And a lot of you signed up for that too. So when we look to that 127, that's another one of the pushes. They're going to need some help too.
Caring about quality. What type of integrity you have? Because in the crypto world, we have a lot of false prophets. We have different coins coming. We probably have thousands of coins created every single day. I get emails from so many different people every different day talking about they will pay me to promote their new so-and-so coin. Like I got one today and I finally responded. I'm like, I'm going to respond with such a ridiculous offer. If they do it, all right, cool. Hey, I have to do the videos completely my way. You have to pay me X amount of money and you have to pay me this much for the video, which 9 times out of 10, they probably won't do. But if they do it now, we can talk. Everything changes. So there's so many different coins and companies where they just going to take your money and rug pull because there's no quality and there's no integrity. It's all about the money. I want to know what are y'all thoughts in the comments. The full video, I will have the link in the description where you can completely go to his page and you can check it out. I want to know what y'all overall thoughts about Cardano, how you feeling, And I'll probably do a video about Cardano after this because I honestly think it's a great time to buy. Very great time. Make sure you press that like button, press the subscribe button. I'm Lando Sets. That is Charles Hopkinson. I think it's Hopkinson. And we are out. Let's go.